This is a Malay apple. It's in the CZGM family. It's called CZGM Malay Sense, I believe is how you pronounce it. It's starting to flower. This thing has flowered for me for about 3 or 4 times. And the flowers do come out in the late spring. I keep it in the greenhouse full time. It's pretty tropical, more tropical than your typical wax jambu, which is a close relative. I did have it in a 20-gallon pot, and I thought I was rotting the roots because it just wasn't too happy. And then I turned out that the soil kind of got compacted on the top and the bottom was dry. So I thought, well, I'll pull it out and plant it in this big raised bed I have here on the side of the greenhouse. And it gets some nice sunlight here, especially in the morning. Seems to be happy. The reason I have this powdery stuff on there is because sometimes I get these ants, and I can see that they're not too deterred by the powder. This is actually a spinosad powder. It's like an organic product, mostly diatomaceous earth, but it does have some spinosad, which is like a derivative from a bacteria that kills bugs and other kinds, and ants and other kind of things. Over here is a Plenia edulis, or actually no, this is a Inga edulis. Sorry, I recently chopped this off because it was getting about 12 feet tall, and I'm rooting the cuttings just to see how easily they root. I'm kind of hoping that it will start to make flowers and pods for me at some point. I'm not sure how long it is. I think I have some time on that one. Over here is some miracle berries that I've just recently potted up. They've been flowering constantly for years for me, and I did learn a trick last summer that I have to sometimes water them with sulfur, some sulfur powder or sulfur pellets, and they responded right away. And they probably produced about 30 to 50 berries per plant for me last year, and they were in pots that were about a third of the size of this one. So I'm hoping to get them filled in and probably, hopefully, doubled or tripled in size. The berries are pretty popular, and so hope to increase the production that way. Over here is kombucha, not sure how you pronounce it. It's a Plenia edulis. I've had this tree for about 5 or 6 years, actually about 5 years, and I bought it as a small tree, put it in my suitcase. This is in Florida, at a nursery called Excalibur, and it was probably 3 or 4 years old at the time, and brought it home, and so it's been growing ever since. It hasn't flowered once for me, but I believe this is going to be one that's going to take a while. Rooting lots of cuttings of various things. See if I'll give you a little mini tour. Black pepper's still going. There's a seed pod that this is ready to harvest as is. If you let them turn red, they get a little sweeter tasting, but probably at this stage they're the best for the purpose of spicy taste. If you can actually use them fresh, and they are actually even spicier than if you wait till they dry out. So this one is putting out a lot of fronds, and in about 2 or 3 months they will start resembling that. See anything else to show you? The ginberry is still trying to produce. I think I need to pop this up to a larger size pot. And the fruit is actually, I've harvested about 5 or 6 of them, and they do taste a little sweet, and they have like a slight flavor of pine needles. You can imagine chewing on a pine needle. I guess that's why they call it ginberry, has that sort of conifer leaf taste. It's a citrus relative. Over here is a red jaboticaba. This is the first fruit that it's setting for me. Hope that many more are coming. See more flowers. I'm gonna keep this inside until this fruit is ready to go because I want to be the first to eat it, not share it with a squirrel or a bird or something. And as soon as that fruit is ready, I will harvest it and move this thing outside because it is ready to go. This tall thing back here is a chimpedak. The variety is a china. It's been growing. It's getting close to 8 feet tall. I'm not sure if it's fruiting size or flowering size, but I thought it would be a fun, fast-growing plant to try out. I've tried out some other fast-growing plants in the past with some success, like bananas and passion fruit and various other things. So this is my next fast-growing plant project here. Here is a plenty edulous. This is in the jaboticaba family. This is commonly known as a giant mulchy. This is about 4 or 5 years old, and I think it might be ready to up pot pretty soon. Maybe this is the year to do that in a 15-gallon. I think for this to flower and fruit, I'm probably looking at 5 more years and probably triple the size from what I've seen. They are not easy to get going. Got a couple star fruits over here in pots. These things have never flowered. I've been trying for about 4 or 5 years. I've heard you might need to graft them. And I've also heard that they will flower around this size and this age. I'm not sure. If I get some good cuttings, I'll try to graft them. I have tried to graft them before, and they didn't take, so I'm not sure if I just did it wrong or I think I tried to graft it around here or something. Anyways, we'll see. Over here are some pineapples. This is a sugar loaf white pineapple from Kauai. Super expensive pineapple. I think I bought like 3 of them for around $100 plus another $30 for shipping overnight. They were delicious though. But I did get 3 tops to grow, and so I guess that's kind of worth it. This is just a normal yellow pineapple and another white pineapple. This is called a white jade. Definitely looks different. This thing has never flowered for me as well, so we'll see. This part of the greenhouse this summer will get a lot more sun because the neighboring trees off this corner were cut down last fall, and so I won't have shade in the afternoon anymore. So hopefully it won't make the greenhouse too hot. We'll see. I can open windows and hope for the best, but maybe some things will grow even better, especially these really tropical things. These beautiful looking plants are called Eugenia multicostatas. They make a ribbed fruit that looks a lot like a Pitanga tuba, which is another unusual Eugenia fruit. People in the rare fruits circles will know what a Pitanga tuba is. But these are about a couple years old and seem to be growing pretty well. These are the standard red, and I have one that's growing slower. That's a yellow variation of that. It'll be interesting to see if the fruits are true to the parents. It's always something that's a bit of a mystery whenever you're growing seeds. That is a mango that I grafted. It's called a lemon zest, I believe, and it's growing pretty well. My mango trees tend to grow slow and look ugly for most of the year, and then in the spring they seem to start getting beautiful again. Oh, that one tree back there is a soursop. Turns out that it didn't like the weather in the 40s when I left it out in November last year. So I hauled it back in. It lost all its foliage and died back, but it's regrowing, so next year I'll haul it back in earlier so it doesn't die. This is another soursop over here. These are both seedlings. I'm hoping to later graft them on with some better varieties, like, who knows, maybe golden soursop or some name variety. But every time I've grafted soursop in the past, it's failed, so we'll see. These are wampies. There's some seedlings I've been growing. I've grafted a couple already, but I'm definitely on the hunt for some more wampy varieties. If anyone has some cuttings they'd be willing to sell or share or trade or whatever, just let me know. I have rootstock. Some various annonas over here that are flowering. I am not sure if I'm going to keep growing annonas. They take up space and they're just hard to deal with. We'll see. I don't know. I was going to graft them and all that, but I just never got around to it. Now they're flowering like crazy. I guess I got to go around and pollinate them. Olosapo. This is a nice, interesting plant. I'm growing this from seed and a couple of other smaller ones. I've heard that they can fruit in 4 or 5 years. So we'll see. It's a fruit that tastes kind of like butterscotch candy, and the shape reminds me of a small mango that is super fibery. Got to try them at Fruit and Spice Park in 2021 when we went to Florida. Very interesting fruit, and it was a hit. Lots of small seedlings, a couple of large wax jambus. I've been trying to grow these for about 5 or 6 years, and I have got them to flower and fruit before. That was about 3 years ago. I tried an experiment. I was reading about how in Taiwan farmers will actually cover up their plants in winter, well, what they call winter, and with shade tarps, and try to keep them in darkness for a couple of months, and then they'll remove the tarps and strip off a lot of the leaves, and that will stimulate them to start flowering and fruit a new crop. So kind of did something similar. I just put them in the shady part of the greenhouse, and our winters have really short days and low sun angles, so I thought it's pretty much the same thing. And I stripped off most of the leaves, so most of these leaves are new growth, like these lighter color. There's a few older leaves that are darker like this, and so far it's working, but I don't see flowering on these things yet. Still kind of early. They still might do it. I did try to give it some blooming fertilizer that has low nitrogen, see if that would help stimulate them, and kind of keeping them over here in this kind of really sunny, bright, and warm spot in the greenhouse, and see if that does the trick. I'll keep you updated on those. Well, I think that's about it for today. I will catch you on another video. I'll leave you with one last shot of the Malay apple. And zooming in here, and some of the flowers opening. I'll be doing updates as these set fruit. I'm hoping that this time, instead of a fruit that's the size of a golf ball, I'll be getting some fruits that are like what you see in the pictures, like a large apple size. We'll see. Take care. I'll see you on another video.